So now that we have the stairs, we now have to create the handrail. Now, the two kind of building codes that you have to consider that you should know of is that a handrail needs to be somewhere between 34 to 38 inches from the tread. Okay. Now, handrail and a guardrail are not the same thing. A handrail is used when you are walking up a set of stairs and you could hold on to it with your hand. A guardrail is kind of along a balcony and is there to guard you from falling off. Okay. And guardrails are going to be a lot higher than a handrail. They look the same, but they have two different purposes. Okay. So a handrail needs to go between 34 to 38 inches from the tread. Okay. Now we're going to go right kind of in the middle of that at 36 inches, and that's kind of a really comfortable height for people as they're walking up and down the set of stairs. The other thing is that the spacing between our balusters, or essentially the spacing between the steps. How do I say this? The spacing underneath the handrail, right? So that people don't fall off, or more importantly, that little kids don't fall off from the stairs, is 4 inches. So you need to have some sort of gap, or you need to have something underneath the handrail that is no larger than a 4 inch gap. Okay, we do not want, say, a little kid to slip through and fall off the set of stairs. Now, the question I always get asked is, we all see these beautiful images, these beautiful pictures of these stairs that have no handrail and have no balusters. But those are buildings that are not in the US. So European or other international countries have their own building codes. Here in the US, stairs need a handrail and they need a 4 inch kind of no opening larger than 4 inches. Okay. So we're going to keep that in mind while we are modeling this handrail. And I'm also, you'll notice that I moved this off to the side because we're actually going to be using our different perspectives, more importantly, our front view. Okay. And I move this because you'll notice that if I had it over here, then we have the walls that are kind of going to get in the way. And I don't want that kind of stopping us. So giving us any problems. So I'm moving the stairs off to the side where I know when I click on something, I'm just focusing on the step itself. Okay? I'm going to change this to shaded view. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a line from one corner of the step, from the top corner to the very top corner. So that is going to give me my angle, right? And now I know that from this point here, that is my tread height. So I could select the line, okay? Use the move tool, and in the front view, I'm going to click on any one of these points here, and I'm just going to go straight up 36 inches, enter. Okay. And that is the height of my handrail. What we're going to end up doing is using the sweep tool. So if you remember the tool that we used to create our windows, how we drew the profile, I still have my profile. We drew the profile, we have the line work, and we take the profile and we sweep it around the line. That's what we're going to do for our handrail. We're going to draw a circle, we're going to draw the line, and then we're going to have the circle sweep along the line. Okay. So the first thing is going to be to create the line work. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and use my line tool. And I'm going to want this to go out, let's just say 3 inches. Oh, Control Z, and then straight down. Okay. Now, before I click, whenever I'm going to click on an actual object, I just want to take a look over here in my perspective mode and make sure that it's going straight down and that it's not accidentally grabbing that back corner. Because you see in my front view, right? If I go all the way back here, in my front view, it looks like it's going straight down. But in the perspective, you can see that it's actually going to the far side, to the back side of the steps. And sometimes if we're on the front view, it'll actually pick up a point on the back side. So just have your perspective view window open. Make sure you don't make that mistake. We're going to click right there and hit enter to finish that. And then on this one, it's going to be a little bit different. Okay. Also, line tool. I'm just going to click down here. Again, keeping an eye on the perspective view, make sure I'm selecting the place where I want to. And I'm just going to go up. I'm not going to have to go, I'm not going to go all the way up because I don't want this to go straight down. I don't want the handrail to go straight down. I actually want to move this 3 inches this way. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and use that fillet command. Fillet, enter. Set the radius is already set to 0 from the last time I used fillet. And I'm just going to click there, and there we have it. Okay. So now I have my line work for my step. I'm going to make my life easier and just select the lines and join them. Okay. So when I click on the line, everything is selected. That's what I want. That's what's going to make the sweep rail a lot easier to work with. Okay. Now I'm going to take the line and I'm going to move that in. We'll go in about 2 inches. The reason why, here, before we do that, let's draw the circle. Okay. And the circle is going to hopefully explain why we're going to move this. So we'll draw the circle and I'm going to click. And right now it's asking me for the diameter. So the diameter I'm going to set at 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Enter. Okay. So in a minute, we're going to take our profile and sweep around this line. But take a look. You see how this circle starts along the edge? If we take this as it is right now and we sweep it up over here, what do you think is going to happen? Let's go ahead and select this and refocus our camera. It's still not that great. Okay. What do you think is going to happen when that circle comes straight down to this point? Half of the circle will be on the tread. The other half is just going to be floating. That's why we need to move this in so that when the pipe comes down, the entire pipe fits on top of my tread. So we are going to select the circle, select the line, holding down the shift key, and then use the move tool. And I'm just going to click and move this inward. And I'm just going to go in, say 2 inches, 2 inches, enter. Did I not hit enter? There we go. All right. So now let's go ahead and do the sweep 1. Select the rail. That's going to be this one. Hit enter. Oh, nope, no, don't hit enter. Select the rail and then select the profile and then hit enter. We'll hit enter again. And we're just going to leave everything as is. We'll hit OK. And now we have a handrail. Okay. The next thing is what are we going to do in between, right? This is where that 4-inch comes into play. What I'm thinking of doing, what I'm going to do is add these vertical balusters, maybe every 2 steps. And then we'll do like a tension cable running in between them. And that is going to be what is not larger than 4 inches, right? So why don't we go ahead and let's see, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to take the circle. Oh, let's just create another one. So we're going to create another circle right here. Okay. I'm going to start right there. Let's go every 2. So we'll create a circle right here. The diameter is going to be 1.5. I'll just hit enter. And this one, I am going to move 2 inches, right? Because we want it to be aligned to our rail. But we also have that issue where half the pipe, half the circle is hanging, just kind of hanging off. So we're going to move this inward 2 inches. Notice that I'm kind of interchanging between using the gumball with the move or using the move command. It's entirely up to you. Whatever you want to do, just move it. Whatever's easiest, whatever's fastest, whatever makes sense for you, do that. Okay. So now that I have my extrusion, I'm sorry, my circle, I'll go ahead and extrude curve. Now I'm going to extrude curve 37 inches. Okay. Watch what happens if I extrude curve 36 inches, which is the height of my step, right? Or the height of my rail. If I go up 36 inches, that's 36 inches. And that's because it's actually touching my line, but it's touching at this point. It's actually not even touching. Um, Not sure why that's happening. But you'll see, regardless, it's not going all the way in because it's going to hit the 36 just on one corner, and we want the entire corner. We want the entire pipe to go through. So let's undo that. I'll go ahead and select this. We're going to extrude curve, and this time we're going to go up 37 inches. And there we have that, right? So I'll go ahead and select this, and I'm going to copy. Go from there, skip those two, click there. Sorry, when I'm copying from this corner, okay? Because that's what's consistent. That's where I know where to click on every single copy. And I'm skipping every other two. Oh, what do I do here? Let's go ahead and finish this one just like that. This one will have a smaller gap, okay? So now we have our balusters. So now the last thing is going to be to create the tension cable. So I'm going to come over here, create another line, and we're going to do the same thing with the sweep command. Okay, we're going to draw a line. At the angle, we'll draw a circle, and then we're going to sweep that across. So we'll draw a line. I'm going to go from this corner to this corner again. But this time, I'm going to move it 2 inches. I'm going to go 2 inches in. Okay, because remember, we want it to be aligned to our handrail. I'm actually going to take the handrail and hide it for a minute because I want to see the actual line itself. Okay. This pipe, this thing here, sorry, the tension cable, that line has to hit this line, right? Because if we start the tension cable here, they're clearly not touching. I also want to select this and I'm going to move this up. Okay, we're going to do that in the front view just because I want to make sure I move it in the correct direction. So we'll go ahead and click and we're going to go up 2 inches. That's good. 2 inches. Now I'm also going to want to copy this, and this is where we do our 4-inch gap. So I'll select this and I'm going to copy. I'm sorry, not copy, offset. Offset. Okay. Well, we could have done both. If we copy, it's going to move, it's going to copy one in one direction. If we offset, it's going to offset parallel, right? Actually, offset is what we need to do. Thinking about it, saying it out loud makes sense. Offset is what we need because we need to be parallel to this line. So we need 4 inches from this line and it want to go parallel to this line. If we go copy, the lines will copy this way vertically and they actually won't be 4 inches. So we need to offset exactly 4 inches. So we'll select the line, we'll hit offset, and we're going to type in 4 inches, enter. And then I'll click, select this line, hit enter, click, select this line, enter, and then just offset to right there. Okay. And then what I need to do is extend these lines over to this, to my handrail. So I'll use the extend command, enter, select this line, enter, and click, 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 and click. We're going to do the same thing. Actually, since I already have it selected, we could just click on these points here. But you'll notice that these lines are going past my handrail line. So these need to be trimmed. So select these, and I'm going to use the trim command. And then I'm just going to do a cross window and click that. So now we have our tension cable, or the lines for our tension cable. Okay. So next thing is I need to draw a circle. But if I draw a circle for my tension cable, it's going to draw it along the Z plane, and I need it to go vertically. So I'm going to type in circle, and I'm going to type vertical, or I'm going to click on vertical. And then I'll go ahead and click on this point there. This is where it gets tricky. So when you go vertical, you need to orient the camera, okay? Because you'll see that it's kind of following, right? You see how it's kind of going all over the place. Sometimes it's going vertically, but it's just kind of, you know, there it's going along the green axis, it's going along the red axis, sometimes it's going at an angle, right? So let's move the camera exactly kind of in the angle we want it. Move the cursor out. You could even go really out just to make sure that it's being placed in the plane along the plane that you want it to. And then I'll type in wait, no, not 2 inches. Let's delete that. This is the tension cable. So the thickness of a tension cable, let's go with let's go 3/8 of an inch. So 3/8 inch, enter. Did I do that correctly? Yep. And where'd it go? Let's try that again. Oh, I didn't try that again. Go vertical, click the correct location, 3/8, enter. You know what? I'm not even looking at that. There we have our circle, but at the last minute, it went into the wrong place. So what we can do here, let's make our lives a lot easier. Let's use our right side view. That's what it's there for. So let's go circle. Let's click where we need to. I'm not even going to click on vertical because I'm going to use my right side view. And now I don't have to worry about it going in the wrong direction. We should have done this a lot sooner. So I'm just going to type in 3/8, enter, enter. Okay, so there we have our circle. I'm going to copy this circle right at that point where these two intersect. And I'm going to place it right there and then right there. Make sure you click the correct location because these are all going to be the profiles that we use for our sweep command. I think that's it. Yeah. We don't want the last one because the last one is the actual pipe itself. All right. So now we're going to type in sweep, select the rail, and then select the circle and hit enter, enter, enter. Actually, these do not get capped. I'm going to undo this. Let me check something really quick. Sweep one, select, select, and do this. Okay, select the rail, select the profile, enter, enter. Oh, and we can't close it. That's odd. All right, so we'll hit OK. So you'll notice that it didn't get closed and it didn't give me the option, right? You see how I could see inside? So if I select it, let's cap it. There we go. Remember, everything we build, doesn't matter how big, how small it is, needs to be a poly surface. If not, it's going to give us headaches down the line. So I noticed that when I did that sweep, it didn't cap it. I could see inside. That created a kind of a red flag for me. So that's why I redid it and realized I still can cap it in the option. So I'm just capping it manually after the fact. So again, we'll go ahead and select this, the line. We'll go sweep one. We'll select the profile, enter, enter. This is what I was talking about, the close sweep. It doesn't allow me to click here. So I'll just hit OK. And then once it's done, we'll select the surface and we're going to cap it. And we'll do the same thing over here. There. I'm going to move a lot faster on this one, on these now, hopefully. And sweep one, select, select, enter, 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 select and cap. Sweep one, select and cap. How many more? Hopefully we're almost done. Sweep one, click, 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 enter, select and cap. Last one. Select, select, and cap. All right. So now we have the tension cable. Let's go ahead and type in show to bring back our handrail. And now we have our handrail. And we have a staircase. Okay. So next, what we want to do is add the layers, right? So let's go ahead and add stairs and create another layer, and we'll call this handrail. Spell it correctly. And rail. I'm going to put this in my stairs. So I'm going to select this and move it to my stairs. You know what? Let's create another layer. Let's break this up. Let's call this steps. So I'll select this, move this to my steps layer, and then I'll turn that off so that it will make my life a lot easier to just do a grab, to do a cross window to select the handrail. And I'm going to move the handrail into that layer. Turn it off, bring those back in. Okay. And now the last thing is to move it into place. So for this, we could hide this if we want to. It might make your life easier. Let's go ahead and just hide it. So we can select this. Actually, let's select both of the handrail and the steps and let's group them. I don't have to click one and then click the other thing. I want to be able to tie these two together. I'm going to need to use the move tool. I'm going to grab this at this corner, and that corner lines up with this corner right back there. Okay. So if I look at it straight on, I could see that the top part there is aligned to my wall. And then I'll go ahead and select this, and I'm going to use the move command. And I'm going to click and move this out 3 feet 6 inches. Enter. And there we have our steps. Now let's go ahead and bring back our floor. And there we have it. What happened to these guys? Huh. We have to undo a whole lot. They weren't added to the group. So let's ungroup. Let's do a new cross window, make sure everything is selected, and group it. All right, when we use the move command, let's go again. Click here. This part is a bit easier if we go to ghosted. Click there, then move, and we're going to go 3 feet 6. All right. And then shaded, and let's show. There we have it. That's more like it. So this is our, these are our steps. Okay. So in the next and last tutorial on this, we're going to go ahead and cover the guardrail, and we're also going to punch a hole through the floor. But why don't you give the floor a shot? It's essentially just using the Boolean difference command to create an opening for the steps. Okay, but we'll go ahead and cover that in the next tutorial.